All right, welcome back to another week. And it is wagon week. No, I don't know. So I spent a good portion of today. Today's Saturday, which is probably one of the first times I've said that in video. Me actually working on a Saturday in the shop, not having something necessarily to go do. I went and did some shopping. I did pick up some regular roller paint, and we finished up all the white parts of the Potter jump. It was vastly easier to roller paint. It was less messy. If you, I don't know if you can see the floor, but you can see that there's a white dusting of spray paint around where we had the cardboard. So I do plan on scrubbing this floor eventually before the winter, just to try to keep it up. Nobody wants a nasty stained floor all the damn time. And I got it stained, and I should have cleaned it before we started doing anything, but I was just too excited. Anyway, so all the white stuff's done, so we're waiting for that to dry, and then I was getting ready to record. So if this battery dies, it's because it's been on for hours, and I forgot to turn it off for the microphone. And I forgot I wanted to get all of the dowels in the next uprights, so those are 100% glued and ready to go for when we get the next uprights done. And I ended up, this is all of the dowel I have left for filling all those holes. Those two were a disaster compared to that one. Like, it's going to be, I have dowels sticking out everywhere all over them. And you'll see that when we pull them in. So I had to actually go into my dowel jig dowel bags, all these guys, and I started using those to start plugging more of the holes because I didn't have enough of these, and these were way too small for some of those holes, so I had to double up on some of the big boys in there. So that's how my day has gone so far. I went shopping on a Saturday. That's not fun. I had to pick up some groceries, and then I went to Rona to pick up that paint. And then what else did I grab? I did grab a belt sander. Oh, I stepped in some paint. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay. So my goodie bag. I got some more sanding discs for the orbital sander, which we just needed in general. Some more of the paint, the spray paint, the cheap stuff. Got some more of that in there. And then I picked up some more belts. I'm still going to try to use my other method, so those aren't gone to waste. But I picked up this Craftsman plug-in little 3-inch belt sander, and I'm hoping that it just makes quick work of the standards. So it's 3 inches by 21 inches for the belt, which was really hard for me to find a 21-inch belt. I don't know why. It was 18 and 24 everywhere, but I couldn't find a 21-inch. I had to ask for help. And yeah, it's just one of the plug-in ones. It was on sale for like $60, so I was like, hey, might as well pick it up. And then I picked up these bungees. Unfortunately, they only come in blue, but they're going on the cart. These are these are the ball ones that you can. Oh, hang on, you just saw me freak out because I thought something was falling, but there you go. Yeah, you get knocked about. Here, hang on. That's a good way to start off the week, eh? Hang on, let me move this. It's just all the cardboard from painting. I just had it up on its side beside the camera, and it just fell over. Anyway, back to where we were. Oh, I'm a really weird stickler for trying to center the sign in the frame. Anyway, so I got these guys, and they're like they just have that. The ball hooks around, so I thought that'd be good for the cart, the wagon. But anyway, so we have all that stuff drying over there, and I'm wondering how much sawing and stuff we should be doing over on this side. I should probably get one of those poly sheets, the plastic poly, and I could just tape off that side, the little strip of the shop for the drying paint items, because I don't want to just stop working. But we'll see how much sawing and stuff we're actually going to be doing here. we'll get our dust collection going. So we really want to get this wagon started, so that's what we're going to do. First things first, I think we should probably cut the boards to size. So let's just move this over here. I'm just going to use the wagon as a workbench. So, and then we're going to just circular saw it. It's over here. The sander can go up here. Haven't been putting things away. Oh, one of the other things I did before I painted the standards, the white standards with their final coat of white, I increased its I increased the size of the holes. I was thinking about it a lot, and I think the bigger holes would just be better. So for the next jump, we're just going to adjust our measurements by half a centimeter or a centimeter to account for that. So washers, bolts, and nuts are here for this project, but we want to build the thing first before we do that. So let's start it up. I want to actually see how high 4 feet is on here first. Well, I guess I have a measuring tape. I can do that. I find myself visualizing things with the actual item first. So this is 4 feet here. I mean, we're kind of stuck to the 4 foot plan only because I got 8 foot boards. If I would have got 10 foot boards, we could have done a 5 foot plan, which would have been here, which may have been better, but I think a 4 foot plan is fine. I think we can get 8 posts and 4 standards on that. Speaking of which, I wanted to see. Actually, I can show you those. Dowels sticking out all over the place here because I'm going to use this thing real quick. Check that out. It's a Franken standard. Yeah, this thing is a wobbly. I haven't fixed it obviously yet because we haven't started working on it yet. But yeah, this thing is quite the mess. But you can see, like, I have just all sorts of just different types of dowels. There's glue dripping everywhere. I used a lot of glue on this. I wasn't messing around. I was like, let's just get it in there. And so obviously, when we get this, we're gonna use this side, the side that has no holes in it, for our new holes. And for the other standard that has holes through both sides, we'll just pick whatever sides are the best. But anyway, so if we pick this guy up, we put him on here, he's gonna have to come out, right? So let's really take a look at this. Okay, so that'll work, right? Again, we want to make sure that all of the standards the feet of the standards can just slide in whichever way they want to. And so we're going to extend it by a little bit with the boards. Make sure that we can go this way too, which seems like lots of space to go that way. So that seems pretty good. That seems pretty dang good. So I don't think I'm going to have too much issues with that. And then how much space did we have between these guys? I think that's pretty good. So we get the 2x12 cut to size there. And then, is that? It is, okay. So it's a 2 by 12, so we need at least 13 inches of clearance, and that's 13 and a half just between these two. And remember, we haven't cut these down yet because we were going to cut them all down to 16s or 18s or whatever they came with. So this is already about a 16. Oh, these ones might already be 16s. Yeah. This one's 18s. So this one's longer. So, yeah. So we'll cut that down, and it will give us even more space. So it looks like we're going to be rocking it. So let me put these back real quick. Let them sit in their corner and think about what they've done. I wonder how many of the other standards just are as bad as these ones, or worse. Because I wonder if it's depending on the time it takes to fix these. I wonder if it's worth just buying new fence posts. I never priced them out. I was going to when I was out there, but I did not. Okay, so let's move this guy over here. We'll grab our first. There we go. And then got this. Got this. All right, so now the plan here is for the boards to sit there. And then we cut. We should probably figure that out actually. This board is cupped quite a bit, so it's going to go on the end. And hopefully this knot gets cut out. So what we want to do is figure out the general diameter of one of these poles is like 3.5 to 4 inches. I think 4 inches on the big side. So if we make 4-inch slots, that should be big enough for everything. Again, we'll test it once we get it, but I think we'll use this piece to mark out how we want all of the other pieces to look, and then you can use it as a stencil, I guess. Let me think. I found this wire here, and this roll of tape is actually just over 4 inches, so I want to use it. And then so we're going to try to make everything 4 inches as much as possible. Okay. All right, beautiful. And then we want about just over 4 inches this way too. So we could use this as a stencil. Just set it up at 4 inches. 4 inches to the outside. And then bring it. Okay, so yeah, we can do that. So now we need to mark the crap out of this stuff. I need my square. Where did I put the square? It's over there. That tape doesn't rip. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend these marks here. Should we keep this forever and always, or what? Okay. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the pencil in this lighting, but I'll show you what we're looking at. I don't know if time to cut it out, but although if you can see the markings, there you go. And you can see this pencil, and then yeah, pretty good. So we're gonna try to cut that out. I wonder if my batteries are gonna die. My batteries die, we'll have to come back tomorrow, but I just realized that this guy is probably close to dead. Oh, he's got 3 bars, so we'll see. I think it'll be okay. Let's just not make a mistake. I mean, we're here to make mistakes, aren't we? That's high. Make sure it's a wood one. I bought other ones. I wonder if there's a better blade. Clean. Fast. We want it clean or fast? I can't tell. Let's use a different blade. I don't know if like having one of these it's a clean one. Very small teeth compared to this one. What if we split the difference? We have one here that says it's fast, it has bigger teeth, but they're smaller than that one. It gives me the skeleton look to it, the holes in it, so then it won't bind, I hope. Oh, trying to do that with the battery in. Bad idea. Okay. Let's wish me luck. There we go. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna go and have dinner with Courtney, because I have 10 minutes. Okay, so I gotta go. I was getting caught up there. I'm enjoying this. Using this jigsaw is vibration-y. I don't know a better saw to do it. Even if I had a bandsaw, this board would be too big. So I think the jigsaw is just the way to go, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna get the all 3 boards cut out, probably tomorrow morning, and then we'll put this project to the side again, and then we'll pull out the poles and the standards to get their blue stuff done, because Potter's Jump's almost done then. if we just got to do the blue. I don't think that this can of paint, I'm going to have to go and get another one. I don't think one is going to be enough for this. Because I definitely have to do at least 2 coats on there. So we're going to see about that for sure. Unless it's really thick for some reason. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should prime it first, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. If I throw some quick primer on the blue spots, so then the blue pops a little bit better. I don't know. I don't want to spray as much as I have been. I got used to not spraying with the roller, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, we'll catch you in the next clip, and we'll get more of this done. Many pieces of wood. So I finished cutting out the whatever these are called. They're not even half circles. They're like oblong half circles. Anyway, I finished cutting them out, and I didn't do a good job. I'll show it to you here now. I have them all 3 of them clamped together because I'm gonna try to get them uniform. Bring it back here a little bit. So this is all 3 of them, if you can see. All right, I'll bring it a little bit closer. So right now, not all 3 of them are flat on the bottom, which is concerning to me because I thought I made sure that they were before I started, but what are you going to do? So I clamped them as close to, thunder, as close to being together as possible. And so you can see I've tried to line up all of the stuff, and you'll see something when I turn it all the way around this way. That this board, obviously I was a little too aggressive on cutting. Oh, hang on. This is a little heavy, but you can see that some of the cuts are way deeper than they were on the other boards. I don't know what happened. But I'm not going to fret about that. I'm just going to use the 2 boards that are the most similar as the outside boards. And then this guy's going to be the inside board. So there'll be a little bit of space in there. So I'm going to try to find a way to sand in there. I want to smooth them out just to make it so they're not chewing up the poles we just painted, right? So I want to sand them out, make them smooth, get some lacquer on there or some top coat. And I'm going to use the belt sander we got to do the bottom part to make them all flat, and then we'll start building the thing on the cart. We're pretty much, other than cutting the 2x4s, I think we're pretty close to just getting everything starting to get assembled. I think I might put some more. I have some angle iron and some other kind of metal bits over in the corner over there. We might use some of that to give us a little bit more rigidity on the this way. Just cause. I mean, we could probably use these to do so. I just don't want to cut them up just yet. You know what I mean? Like we could probably just use these to give us more rigidity. I'm not sure. So, there's a bee in here. Ugh, it's a wasp. Terrible. Anyway, so while we got that done, I have only about half an hour before I got to go. It's Sunday, Father's Day, and so Courtney's dad, we're taking out for dinner. He wants to go sit on a patio, which I hate patios, but he likes them, so it's not my day, it's his day. So we're gonna go sit on a patio, have some drinks, and have a meal. And then I'll be back here. So I don't know if I'm gonna come back in the shop this evening or not, but I'm gonna potentially try. Anyway, so we're gonna grab the poles, probably one at a time here, and And then we'll take off the tape and then retape and put some paint on these poles, and then we'll get out of here. So let me see here. Oops. All right. So here we are. So I think we're going to want the poles, or yeah. Okay. Calm down. Everybody calm down. All right. I'm going to chase this wasp out of here. I'll be back. Okay, so we're good. Now we're going to take this off and get rid of this. So let's see how this goes. Those lines are pretty straight. Well, they look that way anyway. I forgot to put the cardboard down, so we're going to do that. Should I do one of these clapping transitions that everybody likes to do? And there we go. It's all done. I don't know if that transition worked at all, but we'll see. Anyway, so I think what we need to do first is we get our brand new thick boy tape. The blue stuff works. I'm worried about it being just too strong, so we're going to switch to the green stuff. And the blue stuff's in our little stencil, our little template. All right. Okay, well, I've only got 2 done, and I've used almost a whole can. I realized that the base layer of paint, if I'm going to do at least two coats, I want the base one to penetrate into all the cracks and knots and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to use more paint. on the base layer and less paint on the second layer. So it should still be the same amount of paint. It's just the second layer is literally just a coating. So we'll go and grab some more of that. I don't have enough time even to do another pull, so we'll let those two sit for now. And then when we get back, I forgot to open the door again, and so that's probably why it's so cloudy. Like if you can see how the cloudiness in here, that's why that's happening. It doesn't smell or anything. I didn't notice anything, but I'm just, yeah. I get all upset when I forget to do the smallest little things, I guess. But I got to get out of here anyway. So we'll be back, and then we'll get the other two painted and ready to go. One of the things I should have done, which I don't have time for now, is get the boards, the little boards for the standards. I haven't shown you guys yet. The pieces for the standards that I'm going to color this blue color, I should have started doing that now as well. So when the poles are done, the standard pieces are done as well. But who knows? But I'm going to sand these really quick. So because these are really smooth and stuff, and I know that the paint will be fine on it. I'm just gonna sand them up, rough them up a little bit, and then paint them, and then we'll coat them as well. I think this is gonna look really nice. I really like the color of that blue. On this pole here, we accidentally rolled it in the blue, the white part in the blue on the sawhorse, because the sawhorses are getting covered in blue. And yeah, I didn't realize that that was happening until it was too late. And so we're going to have to fix up the white strip on this one over here and probably that one over there. As I was covering that one, I was rolling it around in the blue paint as well. So it's probably messed up as well. And then I made a mistake. I thought I should just cover the whole white strip. And then I quickly realized it didn't need to do that. So we're going to see when we come back in if any of the blue kind of landed on the white at all. And if that's the case, we'll retouch up the white parts some other time with just a paintbrush. But it should be fine. I'm just wondering for the next jump how to do this. Okay. Whew. It's warm in here. Window doors open and everything. But so I brought you in towards the end of that, but when I was at the depot of the home picking up more of Potter's paint, I went to just look at their sanding stuff and decided, hey, let's see if they have something that will make it easier for these. They didn't, but they had this, what do they call it? Quick strip disc for a drill, which is cool. It's a 4-inch thickness, which is exactly what I thought I needed. That was untrue. And it's like the black part of this thing. And it did really good at like actually removing stuff, but it was too big. And so what I did is I brought it to the grinder and I grinded it down to where it would fit kind of just right in there. And then I could, remove stuff. And then after the grinder, it didn't remove stuff so well anymore. So I just super glued some of that 40 grit sandpaper to it, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Now, I'm not going to make it perfectly smooth in these things because it's going to take ages. But what I did is I used the belt sander we got. This guy, he's all right. Nothing insane, but it worked for what we needed. And we got the bottom of these guys here. This side here is fairly flat now, where I'm almost confident that when I take the clamps off, all 3 of these pieces should be fairly even in the way that they sit. I did just finish going through all of the cups and smoothing out as much as I'm going to. So yeah, I realized that it was going to be a lot of dust and stuff, and this is treated wood, and I wanted to be as precautious as possible. So the door was open, my mask was on. I had you saw if I had the vacuum attached to the closest place I was working. Not very much dust got anywhere in here, and that was actually really good. We got a little bit on the floor here, but most of it went in the vacuum, and we can just throw that bag right out. So, which is pretty okay. I got the stuff painting at the back of the shop. I do have cardboard over it, so most of it shouldn't have gotten any dust on it if there was some dust. And then we're going to do the second coat on those poles soon. I keep wearing the same shirt with my coveralls because I'm doing painting and stuff. So, but it is the next day. But I already got stain on this shirt when I was staining the last thing I stained, I guess. And so I figured I might as well use this as my painting shirt too. I haven't gotten any paint on it yet though, which is pretty cool. Okay, so the next thing is figuring out, this is still kind of wobbly. I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting thing. So the next big thing is figuring out how these are gonna end up on here. I mean, I could just attach all of these boards. What if we just make the center thing a thing and then worry about the other 2 boards after? I think that's probably the best idea. Oh no. I don't want any cracks to happen here while I'm situating it. You know what I really want to do? Do you know what I really want to do right now? Don't judge me. It's happening. I'm going to move this a little bit further. You know what's happening. Everybody knows what's happening. It's coming. Now that we have it upright, before we do anything else, let's see about sticking a pole in it, maybe. I won't break anything doing this because there's no room back here. Okay. Moment of truth. Well, obviously, I need to work on that. So it's floating on the second one. Okay. It's floating on the second one there again. I think we knew that this was going to happen. The second one's there just as a redundancy, right? Yeah, the second one is just floating all which ways. But that's okay. Probably don't even need the second one. Oh, that one's really floating. One of the things I think is doing the middle one specifically to just add to the structure was really important. Because we could have just done the two, and then I could just strung some 2x4s across. But I think I want to crisscross the 2x4s. I don't know if there's enough room to do so, and leave the bottom. Because I don't think I'm going to crisscross the 2x4s all the way to the bottom. Because remember, we want to leave the bottom as open as possible. So I think I want to strain them to just under the cups up to the top here. And so we're going to just above the cups. We're going to do some crissy-crossies there. Ow. I said ow, but I didn't even hit myself, so it's fine. Anyway, okay, so that's good enough. We'll see how long this thing lasts after we finish building it. So there we go. If you look from the side, it actually doesn't look too bad. This side's bigger than this side. These 2x4s, I didn't do a good job at picking them. Some of them are really warpy and falling apart. But I'm just going to spray it down. Anyway, I'm still thinking about coloring it, but I don't. If I color it, it's going to take forever. Unless I just quickly use the black paint. I don't know. Anyway, so this, let's turn this back here to the side. You need to see, we're going to test all of the spots again. See how bad it is. It goes in pretty easily. And it's now resting up against the 2x4s and not the pocket itself. There we go. It works. It works. So we're happy about that. We're very happy about that. Now, stabilizing the base is what matters the most here. Because if we don't stabilize the base, then everything falls off the cart and it hurts somebody, and then I get in trouble. And I feel really bad at the same time. So you go there. It's going to straighten that out. Okay. Grab our little tiny speed square. Get everything just in line. Use the speed square as a gap. I think that's fine. didn't bring the other stuff I needed, so everybody hang on. I need we'll bring 2-inch screws. Three of those, and then the driver. Wrong one. Totally did this so wrong and backwards. Okay, so that's a lot of that done. Drink some water. What am I doing wrong here? Okay. I think one of the things I want to do is we'll just maybe round off the top, and we're gonna sand some of this down, some of this edges. Anyway, it's really pokey stuff. Make it look at least a little better. So there's that. It's coming along. It really is coming along. So this, I don't know if that's going to work anymore, because the new boards to extend it are going to get in the way. Unless we don't have them, because I don't think they need to go all the way. We can have them just be the same length as the card itself. Maybe. So then it just comes in kind of. And then to stow this away still works. What do you think about that? I don't know if I have any shorter pieces or 4-foot pieces, because this needs to be 4 feet. So that means we'll end up with a couple 2-foot pieces, which we could probably make some ribbon hangers out of. And we need to make some more of those for the next show, just so we have something to show off while we're there. So we're going to center this as much as possible. And then I don't know what are the bolts I have. We might need to go and pick up new bolts and stuff. So I picked up these 1/4 2-inch bolts, and then I get this 5/16. I couldn't find 1/4 washers, so I'm hoping these will work. I think they will, but we'll see. But there's only 6 washers here, and I needed 12 to do these 6 bolts. And I think we might need more bolts, because I think I want to put a bolt per board that this thing is. and then 2 bolts, or 2 bolts per board for all of the boards, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 10. So we need another package of these at the least, and more washers. Maybe I can actually find some of the right size washers. So I should take a picture of these. I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. And then we'll have to pick up some more. So we're gonna come back in tomorrow, hopefully, or the next day, or whatever it turns out to be. Tomorrow we start the big week of work. Courtney's working on trying to get me in here on Thursday, because she might not need my help as much on Thursday, so I might just be able to come in here for the day, and then I can do this and edit the video and everything, because we have another horse show this weekend coming up. It's Courtney's first eventing show that she's ever done, which is dressage, stadium jumping, and cross country jumping. If you don't know what those are, look them up. It's insane. Dressage is boring to all hell, and I don't like it. I don't know anything about it though, so it's probably why it's boring to me. It's just like that prancing horse stuff. If you ever saw that Snoop Dogg video, he says that horse is crip walking, whatever. That's more of the dressage type thing. And then the stadium jumping is what Courtney usually does, is just show jumping these jumps. These are stadium jumps, like what you'd see at Spruce Meadows and stuff like that. And then cross country is a crazy large open, I don't want to say field, because it's hilly, it's watery, it's sandy, it's bushy, it's like the countryside, and there's jumps all throughout that, and then they do courses through that. And I can't video her on my I video everything she does. So we got her an action cam specifically for this event. So hopefully we'll be able to see if I can, and she's okay with it, I might put a clip of her doing her eventing stuff in next week's video, and I'll show you. Because it's actually really, really cool. So anyway, so we got that all weekend, and she's the show farrier, so she's the farrier there as well. So if somebody needs a problem, she has to stop what she's doing and go there. So it's a disaster. That's why I'm going to be there every day and help her out. So that shortens our. I mean, it's the summer. I knew this was going to happen. So, but anyway, so I'm going to get some more bolts and washers. We're going to bolt this guy down. We're going to figure out what the final look of this is going to be. I'm probably going to put the second coat on Potter's jumps, and then on Potter's poles. Put Potter's paint on the second coat of Potter's paint on Potter's poles, and then I'm going to do the caps, and then I'm going to do the bottoms of the standards all at the same time. So I probably won't. Woo! I probably won't necessarily video me just putting a second coat of paint on something. You guys get the gist. I painted the floor blue around the cardboard. I'm really going to go pick up a roll of that poly stuff and just roll it out and then roll it back and then roll it out and then roll it back. I think I'm just going to attach it to the roof and just let it go and just pull it. It's the idea anyway. We'll see if I can actually do that or not. And if we can do that, then it really cuts down on the issues I have with spray paint. So it's the only issue I have with spray paint is just it just floats around and gets on everything, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect it as much as it does. Like it's really weird. Like I'll find spray paint just over in the corner, just a dusting of it, and it brushes off for the most part, which is weird as well. I don't understand spray paint. It's like it dries midair and then falls. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna get Potter's jump done probably between clips here, and then when we come back, we'll be still working on this guy and get this guy done, and then we'll start on Giggles jumps. And if we do decide to put some paint or some stain or something on this, remember these are treated boards, so I don't care as much. But now that I have the saw marks and the openings and that kind of stuff, kind of want to clean it up, but it's going to get beat to heck anyway. But I'm wondering if I at least if I take more off of this, the lighter it gets, the better. So, but yeah, maybe Potter's Jump will actually be on this wagon sooner than later, and then we can work on Giggle's Jump and then get it on the wagon. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so I say all right so to start a clip every damn time. Get used to it. I'm the all right so guy. Anyway, we're done painting the first jump, kinda. And what I mean by kinda is that I still have to do the top coat, what technically isn't paint. And then this guy is going to stay this color. This guy currently has deck sealer painted all over it. I took a fairly long period of time, and I realized I never did the bottom of it, but whatever. The biggest thing I wanted deck sealer was the cut ends of the 2x12s and the 2x4s. Because after you cut them, then they're not treated anymore. So I sealed it. I put some deck sealer on there, and hopefully that just holds up. I wanted to find something soft to go in the cups to protect the paint job on the posts. And then I'm like, I'm overthinking all of this. You know, like I'm over engineering everything to the max right now. And so I need to just take a step back and just finish jobs because I just keep on adding new things. I'm completely out of Potter paint right now, unless I use the blue stuff for the metal. I just thought of that now. So I might do a second coat on the pieces for the standards. Because right now I use the very last bit of my paint. Actually, I used the last bit of paint on the last pole because I didn't want to run out before I finished that. So I got a bunch of pieces lined up on the floor over there. 8 small 1-inch by 5-inch pieces, I think. They're going to go in the bottom of the standards. I'll show you what that means. And I painted them blue. And then the caps that we're talking about, those are painted now too. They're only 1 coat though. So if I want to put a second coat, I may, instead of buying a whole new brand of can of Potter paint, maybe I'll just do the top coat with the metal paint because that will give itself some rigidity in itself too, and it looks good. Provided it's the same-ish color, it should be very similar. So I'll just spray beside it. Anyway, these I finished up everything. I'm gonna have to retouch up the white and make sure that the lines are straight once I take the tape off. They just finished painting, so I'm going to wait a day or so to get that done. And then I'm going to bust out the white paint and just touch it up. I actually bought some bristly brushes instead of my foam brushes. I bought for this job, so I bought a pack of 5 different sizes. And so I used the 3-inch brush on this guy, and I'll use the 1-inch brush just to tidy these up with some white paint afterwards. So there's that. So, and then after that, then I do the top coat, and I'm going to leave them here until they're done now. This is where they live until they're done. I'm not going to do any sawing of any materials. I'm not going to do any sanding of any materials until this jump is done and is on this cart. We're doing nothing else. All right, hello. See me pulling on the door. I put some rubber gasketing, I guess. I don't know what it is. I picked it up off Amazon. It's not the right stuff, but I'm going to try to use it anyway. To just cover some of the big gaps that were in this door. And then hopefully by winter, I can make this door not just a big wind tunnel for all the snow and stuff. Because in the winter, it would all the snow would just pile up at the door because there's this huge gap. And so I'm just playing around with some ideas, trying to cover it because I don't want to place the whole door jamb because I don't own this place. So other than that, you can see that there's nothing in the work area right now. Obviously, there's a lot of mess there and over there, just off the screen. that I have to clean up. But I'm going to do that after we do the giggles jump. So let me pull this forward for you, and you can see where we're at. Ooh. So it's a little on the heavy side, but I have a feeling part of it might be because of the tires being semi-deflated and stuff along those lines. But however, Potter's Jump is on here. Now, when I was moving it just around here, this guy's spinning a little bit. And so I want to make sure that we might have to add more things. But for the most part, it seems to be okay. So you see I put the bungees on. And so for the standards, I have bungees up on the top on both sides. And here, I'll show you really quick. Come here. Come here, why don't you? And you can see here, here and here, that I have just a screw that I've painted blue. And then I just drag it around and I wrap it. And slap it in place. Same thing here. I don't know if I even had that proper. So this one is for the poles. I only did the one. Let me bring it back here a little bit. I only did the one for the poles right in the middle. Now my original thought was to have a bungee for each pole and on each end. But I was like, that's just going to be a pain in the butt for them to have to undo and do up. So I'm hoping just the one in the center really works out for them, and the poles don't come flopping off. Again, we'll have to test it on uneven ground. So when I bring this to them, it's just all uneven ground all the way there. So it's going to be bouncing around and stuff. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how heavy it is with a second full jump on it. I've been trying my best to get more weight off of it, but it's fairly heavy with the one jump on there. But yeah, I did both sides, so I got the bungees on both sides, and I used those staples, those wood staples, the fencing staples, to hold the other side of the bungee. So the bungees are just on there permanently. And then I already noticed that the black ones here, the bottom one and this black one, is already cracked. So if this plastic ball breaks, it's just gonna fly through the thing. So I'll have to replace it. But nevertheless, this is Potter's Jump is done and on the rack. And I'm just trying to see. Like, I had some issues finishing this jump up that when I was putting the clear coat on the last night. And it's Friday. I just got back from the start of that horse show I was talking about for the weekend. So I'm covered in hay and stuff because I was throwing hay into the truck. And I figured I'd come and just film this end of the week part of the video because I'm going to go upstairs and start editing it. But yeah, some of the spots on here aren't perfect. As I untaped it, some of the paint came off on the tape, which was kind of expected. And then remember, we had some blue marks on the poles that I had to repaint anyway. So we touched that up, and then I let it dry for a few hours. And then I came in, I put you just see the whites are just not great. But a few hours, I touched it up with white, and I waited a few hours, and I came in just before I went to bed last night, and I put a clear coat on. I didn't wait long enough. I need the paint to fully dry before I put a clear coat on, and I learned that lesson last night. So I started all of the places that I had touched up, like from like the blue spots and the bald spots from the tape and all that kind of stuff. Almost every single one of those spots turned yellow on me immediately. And that's just because the clear coat interacting with the undried paint. And so I still have some yellow markings. One of these poles has a bunch of yellow still on it. Yeah, it's this guy here. And I'm not going to cover it all. It's my mistake, and I'm going to own it. This is Potter's Jump, and we're good. There's still some bald spots and stuff. If I ever decide to touch this up in the future, I will. I did try to I just threw just little spritz of spray paint on the yellow marks so they weren't as apparent. But I didn't try my best to cover them. And the best way to fix that solution would have been to sand off the whole thing and just retry it. But I didn't want to do that. So that's the end for this week. Is this guy's done, which is awesome. So I'm going to actually try to park this back there with Potter's Jump facing the door and see if I can get it behind the TV, but it's going to take some finagling. And then we'll bring Giggles Jump out. And speaking of Giggles Jump, I'll show you this now because it's been sitting for a couple hours, but I think we have our decision. So I took the liberty of making a test piece of wood with the sparkle paint on it. And it looks like, so this is obviously just a black coating and then the pink spray paint on top. I did nothing here in the middle. So this is just straight up on top of the wood. And then over here, I put some primer down and then painted the sparkle paint over it. Now, the only other one I was going to try that I didn't, that I should have done, is taking that pink paint from the shoe, the acrylic paint or whatever it is, the Rust-Oleum paint, and do a section of that and then put pink on that. Or I just put the sparkles on that. So I might do that test here in a second. But other than that, this looks like we're going to paint the entire pole black because these two just don't look good. I mean, if I was doing white poles or white standards for Giggles Jump, maybe. But if I paint the entire pole black, let it fully dry, and then tape off the sections that I want with this, and then we just put this on there, I think that will look actually pretty good and will save a lot of paint. So we just do all of the black right away, and then we second coat it right away, and then we just layer this on there. And this becomes what the blue parts of Potter would be like that. It's not going to be the same design because I'm going to have a black strip in the middle and then a black strip where the white strips are, and then so it'll be pink, a small black strip, pink, and then a small black strip. And so there'll be 4 sections of pink and 3 sections of black is what Courtney would like. So I think we're doing that. It looks like we're going to do that. I'm going to try, because I'm just going to head upstairs now. I'm just going to throw some pink on here, and then I'll throw some sparkles on it in the morning before we go to the horse show, and then I can check tomorrow night and see if I even like that. I'll just do the other side. But yeah, so there's that. So that's what Giggles Jump is hopefully going to look like for us. As you can see, I got the caps on here. And then this, sorry, I didn't even mention that. I put the little 1-inch strips around the bottom of the jumps there, and I think it makes it look really sharp. I don't know if there's a problem with having that with the poles up above them or anything, but if there is, if Shannon, the trainer, has any problems with those, I could just pull the one that's facing the jumps off. But I think it was really sharp for me to put those. Those are just little, like they're not great pieces either. Like I might replace them because they're literally just tacked on. I used the brad nailer. Brad nail, they barely fit in there, and then some wood glue is holding the paint. Like it's wood glue paint, so I could probably just rip that off with my hand really easily. But I wanted to see what it looked like because I want to do the same thing for Giggles Jump. So yeah. And then, so these caps are really rough. I did do the sanding trick, and it's really scrapey and bad. I don't like it. So I'm going to try not to do that on Giggles Jump. And then I said I was going to recoat with the other blue from the shoe, from the Potter shoe. It's not the same color of blue. I don't know if you can see. I think it's this one. The lighting in here is really weird. I just started spraying it, and then I hit the corner, and it was a lot darker than this blue. So it just didn't work out. And so I just tried to wipe it off. Yeah, it's this corner here. It's a little darker on the corner, but I tried to wipe it off the best that I could. Remember, I ran out of paint for these guys, so they're not fully blue. You can still see some wood showing through because I never got to do a second coat. But again, this was my jump. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to take some pictures of it, and then I'm going to put it back on this and stick it in the corner, and then we'll get Giggles Jumps going. But anyway, thanks for watching this week. I know we finished the cart and we finished the jump, so that's actually not too bad. But we're going to have to go into a week 3 of the jump making. So hopefully I can do a bunch of work in the next couple of evenings to get Giggles Jumps situated. I'll probably come back. The next video will probably start with everything already painted black, because me sanding everything, priming it, painting it, like you guys, like that's just boring. So, and I'm just going to use the belt sander, so it's just going to be loud. I'm going to use the belt sander for most of it, and then I have the little sander for all those small little pieces. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next video, and live your life. I don't know, do stuff, and I'll see you next week. All right.